If you've ever been frustrated about your home feeling kind of off, even though you know you have good taste, this video is for you. Full disclosure, I did steal this video idea directly from Phoebe Taylor, who made the exact same video but about fashion, and I thought this concept could apply very nicely to interior design. So I'll link her video down below in case you're interested in the fashion side of things. Just like with every single video I make, this isn't an exhaustive, comprehensive list of every single thing that could possibly be wrong with your home. So do your own discernment about your specific home within your specific context. This is just a list of some of the most common things that make a home feel off. If you're new here, my name is Medora Kia, I use they, them pronouns, and I make videos about home design for girls, gays, and theys. So, to get into it, the first reason that your home might feel off, it's disorganized, there's clutter everywhere, and overall, the place just needs a good tidy. Put dog toys back in the dog toy basket, take the trash out, put your socks back in the dirty laundry, put the pen that's sitting out on your coffee table back in the junk drawer, put your grocery bags back into the bag of bags that's hiding in some weird dark corner of your house. If you just spend like 3 minutes of really focused, intense tidying, it will feel better. If you've dealt with any sort of like disability or executive dysfunction, or even if you're just like a normal human living under capitalism, this might feel really overwhelming, and I get that. There are all sorts of like different hacks and methods of getting started cleaning your space, but there's one specific method that I kind of adapted into 2 separate methods that I do and tends to help a lot. If you've heard of the 2-minute rule, it's basically just like if something will take you less than 2 minutes to do, you just automatically do it. But for me, 2 minutes is too short sometimes, and 2 minutes is also too long sometimes. So for me, I have the like 15, 20, 30-second rule. So if I see something that's like sitting out on the kitchen counter that I know I can just put back into the drawer that it goes in, I know that takes less than 30 seconds, I'm just gonna do that. And then the second part of this method is that if there's something that I know needs to be done, and I can do it within about like 3 to 5 minutes, I will stand up before I have any hesitation, because if I don't stand up and I hesitate, that's when I don't do it. And then I will also set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes, and I will go do the thing no matter how much I don't want to do the thing, because I know that if I do the thing, then it's like a gift to my future self, because I won't be as stressed the next day about letting the dishes pile up. The second reason that your home might feel kind of off is that you're comparing it to the styling on the website of a product that you bought, or you're comparing it to intentionally styled photos of homes on Pinterest, many of which have had professional designers come in and design the space. Or maybe you're even comparing it to your own digital mood board that you made for your home. Sometimes there are extra things on your mood board that you won't realistically be able to incorporate into your home. Or maybe there are different proportions of colors or textures or materials that won't reflect accurately in your space. Maybe the lighting coming in your window looks different because most computer screens are not calibrated to have accurate colors. So things on your screen will automatically look different from things in your home. And if you're anything like me, as much as I love to plan out a mood board, within the process of making over your space, nothing will ever be exactly the same as it looks on your mood board. There will always be a piece of furniture that doesn't fit, or a color that just like doesn't quite look right. I know this quote is cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't think about the space that you wish you had. Don't think about the architecture that's in the pretty pictures on Pinterest. Don't think about a fun styling moment that you saw on Pinterest that's not gonna work for you. You need to be able to functionally live in your home. So focus on your space and your needs and try to find the joy within that. The third thing that might be making your home feel off is hanging on to outdated things that don't actually serve you, that are from a previous version of you that you need to let go of. And I'm not even talking about something that's like out of fashion, but just something that you've held on to because it's easier than putting in the energy to list it on Marketplace. If you've got something that's old and ugly, but you love the function of it and you're fine with that, that's perfectly fine. Keep that. For example, maybe you have like an old dresser from when you were a kid and you got it as a hand-me-down and you've just kind of been hanging on to it and using it because you have it, and like, it's great to use what you have. But if it makes you not want to be in your bedroom and not want to get dressed, let it go. Another classic example is keeping a mattress that you had with your ex. Get rid of that. Let that shit go. You do not need that in your life. I promise you. Even if you literally don't have any money, people are giving away mattresses for free all the time on Craigslist and Marketplace. I promise you, you do not need that energy in your life. The fourth thing that might be making your home feel kind of off is, not to sound dramatic, but like, you don't have any life in your home. And in fact, you actively have death in your home. And let me explain what I mean by that. Maybe you don't have any flowers in your home, or if you do, maybe you're the type of person who lets the flowers dry out and sit in the vase until they get moldy. I definitely don't know about that from personal experience or anything, but Or maybe you don't have any houseplants, or if you do have houseplants, maybe you don't tend to them quite as frequently as you should, and so maybe there's like some dead leaves that need some picking off. Stuff like that. Depending on the type of plant and like how dead the leaves are, you might be able to pick it off with your hands, but sometimes you might also just need scissors. You might just need to cut it off. I promise that's not going to hurt the plant. In fact, if you don't know much about plants, that will actually help the plant, because instead of putting energy into trying to save a dead leaf, you'll be able to cut that off, and then it'll put the energy into growing the leaves that are already healthy. And if you think I'm not making the parallel between, like, emotionally, metaphorically cutting things off of your life and putting your energy into the new healthy things, you don't know me at all, because I'm a nerd and I love metaphors. The fifth reason that your home might feel kind of off is that your blankets and towels and clothes aren't folded and hung with, like, care and intention. You do not have to Marie Kondo your entire home all at once, but at least for me, taking an extra second to be a little bit more intentional about hanging your towel in a way that isn't crooked, and folding your blankets nicely to like drape over the back of a couch can really make a huge difference between your home feeling sloppy and put together. The sixth reason that your home might feel kind of off is that you don't have a mindset around cleaning or a regular cleaning routine that doesn't feel overwhelming to you. You can take whatever approach works for you, but I like to either start with the easiest things to like gain a little bit of momentum, or start with the worst parts of your home that tend to accumulate the most amount of dirt and clutter. Because if you start with the worst spots, that'll raise the baseline. That'll raise your expectations for the cleanliness of the rest of your home. The seventh thing making your home feel kind of off is that your relational portions are kind of weird. You could definitely break this down into like math and ratios and get super specific about it, but in general, like the rug to couch ratio should look more like this and less like this. Your bed to nightstand ratio should generally look more like this and not like this. Your arch to wall ratio should look more like this and less like this. The eighth reason that your home might feel kind of off, and this one is super common, is that your art placement is very random and not intentional and not in relation to its surroundings. I once heard a florist say that when you're creating movement in a floral arrangement, you want to have flowers talking to each other and interacting with each other. Maybe you have a really big main flower over here, and so you put another one over here and they're kind of facing each other. Maybe you have something reaching all the way up here and you want to create some more movement down here. Doing this creates movement and story and flow and connection. So I like to kind of incorporate that idea into my art. This also applies beyond art, but I think art is one of the easiest ways to see it in practice. I haven't found the reference photos for this video yet, but I'll try to find some pictures of art that either lines up with a cabinet or a dresser or a bed or another piece of art where one of the things is cutting off one of the other things at like 1/3 or 2/3. I especially like working with thirds. So if you like take a painting and you split it in thirds going across and then also up and down, I like to use those lines to place the art within the context of other things, if that makes sense. So like if you've got an armoire that cuts off right here, I'm going to put the art right here so that there's 2/3, and I'm going to do a much better job explaining this with pictures because I feel like my hands aren't doing it justice. The ninth thing that's making your home feel off is that there is one thing or maybe many things that are not the most practical or functional. If your home is working against you and how you actually like to exist in your space, that is absolutely going to impact how you feel in your home. I think one of the most concise examples that I can think of for this is that maybe you have a giant closet and so you just like shove all of your stuff in there and you're like, well, I have room for all of my stuff, so it's fine. But if you can't access the things that you need to be able to access when you need to be able to access them, that's not going to do anyone any good. Number 10, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but number 10 is having too many small pieces of furniture rather than one or two large pieces of furniture. So much furniture and decor and lamps and stuff like that that's out there is way too small proportionally for living in a human-sized space. And it actually feels a lot better to have one large sectional than like a tiny little love seat and two little armchairs. This isn't a hard and fast rule. It'll really just depend on the specific layout and flow of your specific space. But in general, having lots of little pieces of furniture tends to feel much more cluttered than having one or two large pieces of furniture. The 11th reason that your home might feel off is that you're caught up in this brainwashed mindset that once you own a specific thing that you think is cool, you'll feel like you are cooler than you are right now. But once you get it and a little bit of time passes, it's just another thing you own. And that initial little cool burst goes away. It might still make you look cool to others, especially if you're posting pictures of your home on social media. But what you're really looking for is a sense of self-acceptance and communal acceptance. So focus on actually curating that for yourself before spending a ton of money on like fun, trendy home design things. The 12th and final reason that your home might feel off, and I've never heard any other interior design YouTubers talk about this before, and that's that you haven't done the inner work to feel at home in your body, mind, and spirit, because that will always come first before your physical environment. Knowing who you are and what your values and priorities are will shape how you show up in your home, and that'll make all the difference. A home isn't a home without the people who live in it. So if you're doing any holiday shenanigans, have fun, be safe, and if you need any gift ideas, go check out my holiday gift guide. Not to toot my own horn, but I think it's pretty dang good. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure to do all of the YouTube-y things that will tell the algorithm to show you more videos. And it's getting dark out, so I gotta go. Bye.